Hey guys, it's Trevor here. Welcome back for another season of bmspl. A little bit of a weird version compared to what we're used to, but hey, we're just happy to get back out there and hope you guys are too. So we put together just a short video walking through some of the unique things that we'll be doing this season. So we'll just walk through those quickly. They shouldn't take more than 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes tops as we walk through all of it. So things will be a little different than what we're used to this year. A lot of that is based on new requirements from the city around how we need to operate on city property given phase 3 and some of the rules that remain in place. The big one that affects us is around the size of participants per division. So as you guys probably know already, the divisions will be 4 teams only, with a maximum of 12 players per team. That'll be to keep each, let's call it a bubble, 50 players or less to help limit the spread, if ever that were to be an issue. Knock on wood, of course, that it won't be. So the season starts this Friday, August 7th, and will run for 9 weeks until October 2nd. And there will be no tournaments. For this season, we've just sort of extended the season by an extra couple games compared to the normal length. So it's the same amount of games, it's just a little bit of a different format. All the games will be 6:30 and 7:45. And I already said a little bit about the division and how those are going to work as well. I'll just add to say you'll only play teams that are in your own division. So over the 9 weeks, you'll play each of your opponents 2 or 3 times in total. A couple of the new rules or requirements that I'll cover. First is around keeping attendance and signing in before each game. So that's a requirement from the city. This will cover a couple things. It's a sign-off kind of / waiver, if you will. First will be that you are signing off that you don't have any of the COVID symptoms. So we'll include a bit of a cheat sheet we received from the city and public health. You've probably seen it out and about already. But if you're exhibiting any of the symptoms, or if you've traveled outside the country, we'll ask that you not play. If you're feeling sick, we'll ask that you not play. It's pretty common sense, obviously. You'll have to sign in. Each team will need to have all players sign in and sign off that they're healthy and that they're able to play. We'll be keeping records of that attendance. The city requires us to keep those records for a couple of weeks after each game. Again, in the event that a player in the league tests positive, for contact tracing and being able to contact other players that may have had exposure to that player, public health may ask us for copies of those logs so that they can follow up with different players that may have been in contact with that individual. So that's one new requirement. The other one is a bit of a rule change. I'll say off the bat, this is a little weird, but after consulting with SPO, Slow Pitch Ontario, and sort of looking at the rule set and where it makes sense to make some changes, we'll be implementing a no tagging and a no rundown rule for this season. So tagging and rundowns are really some of the few occasions that should happen in a game where there's close contact between players. So that was our goal with eliminating that. So what we'll be doing is using a commitment line in between all of the bases. So between first and second and third, similar to how we'd already have one between third and home. We'll provide chalk to all the captains just to make it easier to mark off where that commitment line should be. And the rule will be, pretty similar to the one about going home, which is that once you cross that commitment line, you can no longer turn back. So you're committed to going to the next base. The twist will be you will not need to be tagged, even if it's not a forced out, when you're going to the next base. So there's a lot of what if scenarios. So I'll walk through kind of maybe the most common couple scenarios to help. I'll say just overarching on all of this is just apply the best common sense that you can. I know we're all super thankful to be back at the Diamond. You know, it may require just being a little bit less aggressive on the bases and just being extra cautious as regards to contact with other players and playing it safe. That's really all we ask is to apply common sense and do the best you can to keep things safe at the Diamond for yourself and for others as well. Okay, so let's go through a bit of an example. I've got a little setup here with a diamond. I'm going to try to mark it up as I'm talking. So this is very high tech, as you guys can see. So your normal commitment line would be 2/3 of the way between third and home. So we'll be adding a line between second and third, and we'll be adding a line between first and second as well. So we already touched on if you are crossing the commitment line towards, let's say you're going towards third, you won't be able to turn back if you've crossed this line at any point. So you've got to go to third. The difference will be you no longer need to be tagged if you're the runner that's going to third, even if it's not a forced out. Another common scenario might be if you're running from second to third, and before you get to the commitment line, you decide to turn around, or the ball's going into third, and you obviously no longer want to advance. You can turn around at that point and go back towards second. You won't be out if the third baseman touches the base unless you're past that commitment line. You will be forced back to second, though. So in that play, in no scenario can the runner continue to third. So you'll turn around and go back towards second. The third baseman can throw you out back to second. And similarly, there'll be no tag there. So if the ball gets back to second before you, you'll be out as well without the need to be tagged. You won't have the option to turn around and go back to third again. If you stop short of commitment and you turn around, you're going back to your previous base. So whether you're running back to second or you're running back to first, that covers any scenario. A throw back to second, an error back to second. Really, we're just looking to avoid sort of a rundown, close contact type scenario. In the event that a runner is tagged, we're gonna declare that runner safe. So tagging a player will result in that player being safe. Again, just as a sort of a incentive not to tag the runner, just to make sure that that's not happening at the Diamond. So I hope that helps. You know how to reach us if you've got any questions. This isn't how we'd prefer to play. Obviously, I think you guys know that, but it's just a thing that we'll do for a couple weeks to make it easier for everyone being back out there. The last couple set of small rules, we'll call them. First is catcher batter distancing. Generally, things are fairly distanced at the ball diamond. Catcher batter is one of those sort of small exceptions. So we'll ask the catcher to stay 6 feet behind the batter when the backstop permits it. So some diamonds may have a smaller backstop. In that scenario, catcher can play at the fence. That's perfectly okay. Other distancing, wherever it's possible, sidelines, dugout, etc. We're intentionally not playing at lines 1, which has that enclosed dugout where you really don't have a choice to be close to your other players. But all the OPH, all the sort of standard rules that are out there these days will apply at the Diamond as well, whether that's in the dugout, in the stands, if anyone's coming to watch, anything like that. Obviously, during the play, distancing won't always be possible. So we totally understand that. And that's really not a problem. As I said, we've taken out the tags to sort of remove the close touch situations as best we can. And I think that's the end of the presentation. Yeah, so look, be safe, have fun. We're super happy to be back. And can't wait to hit the fields on Friday. The weather looks amazing, knock on wood. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We'll answer them the best we can. So you guys know the address, bmspl@bmspl.com. Either myself or Melissa will be happy to hear from you and go over anything that might help. So all to say, hope you guys have an awesome season, and we'll see you guys at the Diamonds.